Hello Stampers. Hope you are doing well today. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to show you in this video how to make this beautiful card. It's very straightforward, and the star of the show is definitely this paper. This is from the Fancy Flora Designer Series paper. It comes in 6x6 pieces, and it is in the current mini catalog, the January through April 2023 mini catalog from Stampin Up. And there are some gorgeous, gorgeous papers, colors. I've actually used so many of them that this does not even begin to show you how beautiful they are. Just love the colors. So let me show you. And then of course on the back, there are these wonderful kind of, they look three-dimensional. They look like paint, like thick, and just really, really cool. You can do so many wonderful things with this paper. I am using the Something Fancy stamp set, which is part of the suite. You can see that there are wonderful sentiments. Happy birthday, congratulations, thank you. Really cover kind of all your bases for cards that you want to make. And it comes with dies. We are going to use one of the dies, but you can see several different dies that come with this bundle. If you get it as a bundle, you save 10%. So we're gonna use that today to make this card, and that is what I used to make this one. So this I made as a sympathy card, and the inside, Thinking of You with All My Heart, is actually from a different stamp set. That one has been around for a while. Another one of my favorites, Peaceful Moments, has great sentiments. This also has a sympathy sentiment. It's got a happy birthday, and the card I'm going to make today, actually I'm going to make it into a birthday card. And then here's the Thinking of You with All My Heart. So two wonderful stamp sets with great sentiments. I always like to choose sentiments to get started with stamping, and then these coordinate with the poppy dies. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Linda Edwards. I am with Crafty Heron Designs. Here are all of the measurements and some of the items that I'm going to use today. So you can stop the video, you can take a picture of it, and I will also have all this information in the description below the video. So let me put that aside. As you can see, I used a couple of dies. These dies are actually for the flower, and that is from the Dainty Delight, the Dainty Delight dies, which is also available in the mini catalog. I forgot to mention, the Peaceful Moments is actually from the annual catalog. So this is the die we're using for our sentiment, and here is the card kit. So if you're coming because, if you're watching this because you've purchased the class, these are the items that will come in your card kit. And if you're watching just to make your own kit, I have all the measurements. So the first is the card base, and we're gonna make this one out of Starry Sky. It is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. My original card was with Orchid Oasis, but I'm using a different Designer Series paper with this one. So first thing I'm going to do is fold and burnish. And when you fold, the valley is always on the outside. And let me set that aside. Fold and burnish, and I'm going to set this aside. The Designer Series paper that I'm going to use today is the Fancy Flora DSP, and it is cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So it gives us just a nice little border around the card. And then we're using another piece, which is I'm actually going to use the back of one of the other pieces of Designer Series paper. And this one is cut at 3 1/2 by 1/2 inch. And then I actually, for the envelope, this is cut at 6 inches by 2 1/4, actually by 2 inches. And the reason I cut it at 2 inches is because you can get 3 of these out of one sheet of 6x6 paper. So I'll show you a little trick for that. And then I also have a piece of DSP, and this is cut at 1/4 inch by 6 inches. So that's going to be for our envelope. So at the end of the video, I'll show you how to put that together. And then the pieces in your kit, There's a piece of basic white, and this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and that's gonna go on the inside of your card. And then this is a scrap for the sentiment, and this is cut about 3 by 2. And I die cut already. If you got the card kit, I've already cut all the pieces out for you. This is a piece of vellum, and it's about a 2 3/4 inch circle. And then fresh Freesia, I cut out the little daisy, and we're gonna curl it just a little. You have to be kind of gentle when you curl it. And then there's a tiny little piece of also Starry Sky. This is gonna go in the center. And that is that little die that I just had here a moment ago. Here we go. He actually cuts 4 out of 1 die, and here's the daisy. And you can see there are 2 different shapes, the circle and the kind of the little triangle, but the circle goes with this daisy piece, and that's from the Dainty designs. But of course, if you're, you can use whatever you've got on hand to make this. This is a very simple, straightforward card. So I generally like to start with the stamping. And so I'm gonna set all this aside, and we're gonna go ahead and start with that. I'm gonna use the Starry Sky ink. So depending on the colors in your card kit or with whatever designer series paper you're gonna use, you want to coordinate your stamping with your colors. So because my card base is Starry Sky, I went ahead and did the same thing for my sentiment. And I've got this, like I said, I'm gonna make this one a happy birthday. And because I wanted to use the same die as I did in the Sympathy, that's why I changed I used the happy birthday from a different stamp set, but you could certainly change it up. So let's go ahead and die cut this sentiment out, and you can see how it fits really well. But I want you to notice, because I'm gonna put that flower up in the corner, I'm gonna move this a little bit over. I wanna make sure my sentiment is kind of in the corner so that I have room to put that little flower. All right, I'm gonna move this aside and bring in my cut and emboss machine. I think I forgot to mention, my name is Linda Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you want anything that you see today, I'd love for you to visit my online store, craftyheroindesigns.stampinup.net. Oh, see, you can't see that. Let me move this up a little bit. Actually, turn this around. Okay, so the die cut, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I could use the small one, but I have the big one here. So, it'll tell you on your die cutting machine what sandwich, we call it a sandwich, to use. So this is plate 1, plate 2, and then 2 of the 3 plates that are going to be used with the thin dies. So I'm just gonna line that up, and I prefer to stamp first and then die cut. That way I don't really have to worry about whether my stamp is straight and level or not, because I'm gonna make sure that my die cuts it straight. Here we go. I'm telling you, this is a great layout for a card. It's really straightforward, but it really has a great impact. Okay, so there you can see, and this die's got kind of a little edge. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a little bit of an edge on it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and assemble the card. So let's see, I do wanna look, which way do I want this? I think I want it that way, because my vellum is gonna be down here, and I want to be able to see. Let's turn it around. Oh, I guess it works either way. It's pretty much the same, isn't it? Maybe I'll do it this way, because I like the lighter colors up there. I think they're more visible. Okay, either way will work though. So I'm using liquid glue. It just happens to be my adhesive of choice. You use whatever you are comfortable with. And I am just centering this in on the card front. Oh, I forgot I need to stamp my inside. I'm not done stamping. Usually I finish all my stamping first. That's okay. We'll make the outside and then we'll go ahead and stamp the inside and put that together. So this we're gonna layer like this. It's gonna kind of be how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my, use my Take Your Pick tool to assemble my little daisy. See how we can just pick that guy up and just put a little bit of adhesive right there. And the Take Your Pick tool allows me to get that right where I want it. You can see it's got like a little adhesive. It's not adhesive, it's like a putty on the end so that you can pick something up. And this is gonna go here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dot of glue where I want my flower. And I'm just kind of turning it so that you can still see the birthday. Make sure that my petals kind of lift up a little bit. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the sentiment. Move that away. Whoops, wrong. Did you see what I was doing? All right, here we go. So, just gonna put some dimensionals on this. And I'm gonna put one in the middle so it doesn't sink. Okay, so now when I assemble this, you know, if you put adhesive on your vellum, you'll see it, but you can see that that's gonna be hidden. So I'm kind of eyeballing where I want all of this to go, and then I know that I can put adhesive under here. So I'm gonna hold that like that, and I am gonna use glue dots with my vellum. Here are the glue dots. And the other end of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just putting the glue dots. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. Right there, because I know it's going to be hidden. All right. So, I'm gonna layer that, I think right about there. And now I can go ahead and again, I'm going to use glue dots because it's vellum. I'm not crazy about the way the liquid glue works with the vellum. It just kind of, because it's a slippery product, sometimes the liquid glue is not ideal. But I could certainly just put the liquid glue on the outside of this strip, right? So that would be an option as well. But I kind of want it, I don't want it to be flat. I kind of want it to be raised a little bit. So there we go. And now I am just going to put my sentiment right on top of there. So as you can see, you can modify this easily with whatever paper you have on hand or whatever sentiments that you have. I'm going to move that over a little bit. I'm kind of looking so that I've got a little bit of the vellum showing. It's a very subtle layer, but it is really a nice layer. So then we're going to have our inside. And because I'm using this as a birthday card, I chose a different sentiment. This sentiment is from the Something Fancy stamp set. I thought it was really cute. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. So, that. And again, this is that Starry Sky ink. It really gives a nice, solid image. These cling stamp sets work really well. Let that dry a minute. And go ahead and put that on the inside. And then, of course, we're going to add some bling to the outside. And I'm just, again, centering it. I wanted kind of to have some of this blue showing all the way around. So, okay. And now I'm going to bring in, these are the adhesive backed Milky dots. So on this card, I used this fresh Freesia color. Can you see that? Really pretty. But I think on this one, I'm going to try the boldness of the blue. But I mean, I could use the fresh Freesia, but it also has this beautiful blue. So I think that would be kind of fun. Let's see. Oh yeah. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Wow. I just love this color. This Starry Sky. It's an in color. We've got it for one more year. You know, I could have even put it there. I didn't think about that. Let's see. Put that there. Oh yeah, I like that. I could put one more here, couldn't I? But then I feel like I have to move this one. Let's see. Let's move this one a little bit. Maybe put it over down there. So I like them to be a little bit offset. All right. What do you think? Okay. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. Anyway, I told you I was going to show you a little trick for the envelope. So this paper is 6 by 6. And so, you know, as I said, if you cut it 2 inches wide by 6, you can get 3 pieces, right? So you could cover 3 envelopes, but then it's really not long enough or deep enough for the full envelope. So what I'm going to do is I just took a piece of Starry Sky cardstock and I'm just going to layer it right there so that I can use both out of it. So I get a little bit more out of my paper. I like to be frugal. I mean, it is just paper, but it's so beautiful. I want to be able to stretch it and use it multiple ways. So as you saw, I just put adhesive on the envelope and then I'm coming in. It's probably hard for you to see on the camera. It's actually even a little bit difficult for me to see where that fold is on my flap, but there we go. So kind of bring that up to the flap. And then this piece, I want to see a lot of the Calypso coral color. So I've kind of moved it over to the edge. But as you see, I'm covering the full flap. And then all I'm going to do is come in with my scissors and cut that off. And there you have a decorated envelope. Gives your recipient a little clue that this is not a bill. This is not bad news. This is something festive and fun in their mailbox. Don't you just love to get something in your mailbox that is positive and festive and fun? And look how pretty that they look together. You know, I couldn't decide. I love this Orchid Oasis, but I love this Starry Sky as well. What do you think? Do you have a preference? Regardless, thank you for joining me. If you like what you saw, I'd love for you to comment or give me a thumbs up, a like, depending on whatever platform that you're seeing this on. And follow me, find me. You can find me, follow me, Crafty Heron Designs. I'm on all the socials, Instagram and Facebook, Pinterest, on my website, Crafty Heron Designs at stampinup.net. So thanks for joining me and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.